Hello, um, I'm gonna make a Godot tutorial. This is my first tutorial ever in a long time. So I'm gonna make a Godot tutorial for the GrooveJoint, and I'm doing this because there's basically no documentation at all on the GrooveJoint, and it took me a really long time to figure out what it actually does. But I finally know. So right now I just have this little scene where we've got like a tile map here with some collisions. We've got two rigid bodies. They're stacked on each other. They're each called anchor 2. You know, they contain a collision shape and a sprite. Pretty simple. There's also a muscle thingy, which was me testing something, but basically all it's doing right now is it's drawing this line. It doesn't do anything else. So basically what a GrooveJoint does is if we create a new one, oh wait, 1 second, sorry. Right now you can see that these things are not connected. I just put a simple script on the purple rigid body that makes it so that it gets attracted towards my mouse, and that's all it does. And these things are not connected in any way. Just that my muscle object is just drawing a line, but it doesn't actually do anything else than anything other than that. So what a GrooveJoint does, it will let us connect these two objects so that like when this one moves too. So basically this line would kind of act as like a beam that connects them, but it doesn't actually collide with anything like it's doing right now here. It's not colliding. But if you pull this one, it pulls that one. If you push this one, it pushes that one. And so yeah, that's basically what it would be doing. So let's make one. So I'm gonna add a GrooveJoint 2D, and I'm just gonna put it like right under the root node. So yeah, so it doesn't actually need to be like a parent of these rigid bodies or anything. It can just be in nowhere. So let's see where our GrooveJoint is right now. Our GrooveJoint is right here. So I'm just gonna take this GrooveJoint, put it over here, and I'm gonna rotate it by 90 degrees. So okay, so it's rotated by 90 degrees, and actually the GrooveJoint doesn't really do anything. I could put it here. I'm just putting it here to make it look good, so you actually get what's happening. But I could put it anywhere. It will not affect how it works at all. So actually it will. I take that back. I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the these two rigid bodies and I'm going to put them right on top of each other. Okay? And I'm going to take this GrooveJoint and I'm going to put it in the center of the rigid bodies. And what I need to do is select the two things that I will be connecting. So it's going to be connecting this one with this one. And so now if we start, we've got two, they are now connected. But you see how it's a little bit loose, like sometimes they can hit each other and stuff. So this is because of the length. What the length does is basically how lenient is it. So if I push, let's say, the purple one towards the blue one, how long will it take before the blue one actually like responds and gets pushed to? So if we put it 0, it will become instantly. There's no padding. Basically, this line cannot stretch. And the initial offset, what it does is how far apart these things are trying to stay from each other. So right now it's 25, but if I make it 200, you'll see that now they're staying far away from each other. And if I push the purple one, it will push the blue one. And if I pull the purple one, it will pull the blue one. So yeah, and so right now it responds instantly because my length is 1, so it's basically instant. But if I were to make the length, for example, be 50, you would see that there's some stretch that can happen. So I can stretch it a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit more easy to see. So right now I can, sorry, one second. So here, if I push it, it takes a while for the blue one to actually start moving too. So that's basically what the GrooveJoint does. It's not too hard. So you've got the initial offset and the length. So yeah, length is basically how lenient it is, and the initial offset is how far away they are from each other. If I make this 100, they don't spawn very far. Oh right, sorry. I'm going to reset the length to 0. So the length can make it very confusing, so you actually know what's happening. So now they're not very far from each other. And now they are. So that's all it does. So yeah, what I would like to be able to do is dynamically change the distance between them. So I have not figured out a way to do this, but I've been working on the script here. It's a pretty pathetic script, but here's what it is. Got it here. Yeah. So I've got a script where I just make a little variable, and I add the delta to it, and I run it through sine, and I make sure that it stays above 0. And basically I'm setting the offset to that value. But as you can see, it's not actually changing the distance between them. This is called the initial offset, so this could be why. Maybe it's just at the start. What I can do though is set the length. And I'm just printing it over here, just so I know that it's working. So if I set the length, it actually does have an effect. Wait, does it? No, it doesn't even have an effect. So changing the length doesn't change it. Doesn't actually change it in real time, which I find to be very weird. So yeah. Let me try something. This thing is pretty hard to control. Yeah, so the length is 0 right now, so there should be no leniency, but now it's like 500. There should be, but there isn't. Let's try the initial offset. So right now it should be 0, and the initial offset isn't even changing in the first place. Oh, sorry. Get initial offset. So the initial offset is changing, but it is not affecting our thing. So yeah, that's basically what the GrooveJoint is. Tell me if this helps you out. This isn't like a super high quality tutorial or anything. I don't really know what I'm doing too much, but wait, did I just no, it didn't. Okay, thanks for listening. Hope I didn't waste your time. Bye.